So it seems the Mullen automotive soap opera around Lawrence Hardge has come to an end. Hi again, everyone. I hope you're all doing really well. So it was an interesting day on the market for Mullen Automotive yesterday. The stock dropped about 6% on two news catalysts, really. The first being that there's now a new model truck which is going to be used for charging. It seems, I have to look at it a bit close, but it seems like quite an interesting development that the company's put on. And, you know, generally something that you might perceive as being positive for the company, though, like when you read into it, it sounds a little bit like a bit of a white elephant at the moment, but maybe it might be more meaningful, who knows. But obviously the second headline that has come out is the fact that the MAEO deal has ended, that Lawrence Hardge and Mullen Automotive are going to be parting ways. Mullen cited that it was due to ongoing legal issues that Lawrence Hardge hadn't disclosed, as well as the fact that, you know, the testing that they wanted Lawrence Hardge's technology to be undertaken to ensure that they met EPA certification was not adhered to by Lawrence and his products. So I really think, it's kind of, it was such a messy drama, that thing with Lawrence Hardge. And I think, it doesn't look good for the business, the sense that, you know, that they did kind of explore and go into this deal with them, and maybe suggest that, you know, to the broader market, that maybe Mullen didn't do enough due diligence when it came to doing their dealings with Lawrence Hardge. Now, obviously, questions still remain, like how legitimate is the technology that he is purportedly selling? I did a video on Lawrence Hardge last week about it, and, you know, there was an expose that was published about him, talking about his previous business dealings and how he raised money for this, what is some sort of early incarnation of the EMM technology, the black box technology, where he was basically, sounds like it was charged with embezzlement, basically, and fraud. But because he made, you know, the investors whole again, the charges were not recorded. So that was one of the reasons too. So the previous legal issues that Lawrence Hardge were kind of mentioned as one of the reasons for why the deal was not going ahead. So it does leave some questions around, like, how legitimate was his technology? Was he just someone who was trying to hoodwink investors? Like, on the surface, it kind of does look like that. You know, I guess we will really never know the answer. The technology, in principle, if it works as well as it was ever made out to work, that's good. Obviously, Lawrence Hardge has been in negotiations with other people and parties about the use of this technology. And you need to look at the Washington, D.C. government, who's running a trial with the technology as well as all the rumors that used to speculate around the Middle East. They've talked about the likes of Saudi Arabia is the big one, also like Lebanon, I think was another country as well in the Middle East as well, that were purportedly looking at using the EMM technology. So if there is any sort of real legitimacy to the technology, we will hear about it potentially coming out of the Middle East. Who really knows, though? It was an interesting drama. By the end of it, I think shareholders had worn thin in patience with Lawrence Hardge. They wanted to, just have that thing sorted out. You know, either whether or not had the technology working, had the deal finalised, or what we saw today, an official parting of ways. So it was interesting. So, he was a sporadic and erratic character online, regularly posting weird things and, kind of entertaining to follow. And so we've parted ways with Lawrence Hardge. So I think overall, like, that's kind of a positive negative for the company. It's positive in the sense that, the business can move on and we don't have to worry about it. It's not going to be this sort of distraction. It's a negative in the sense that, it doesn't look like good management, in the sense that they tried to strike some sort of deal with Lawrence Hardge, and, they obviously haven't done enough due diligence. So that on the surface doesn't look so good, but at least you can see that there were some fail-safes in place by Mullen Automotive, while the sense that the deal was able to be terminated. I feel like we may still hear a couple of little rumblings around this issue being solved in the days and weeks ahead, but looks like they've parted ways. It's probably for the better in terms of, like, Mullen Automotive as a company. At least it allows them to focus on one less thing, because, I really think one of the issues Mullen Automotive does face is that they have really diversified what they want to offer. And so there's all these like bright shiny projects that they're investing in, and they're spreading themselves way too thin. And it hurts, and it's one of the things that I think really hurts stockholders, especially when they have to keep raising money to like fund these projects. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens on Wednesday, whether or not we get to see some sort of bounce back in the stock. The stock's still holding up in the higher teens. It's still up about double from where it was last week. Not quite double, but about 70% up from where it was at a low point last week. So it's still up in that sense, but it'll be interesting to see if it can stay up there, with the idea that there might be some shares bought back, and as well as like the threats around investigating naked shorts, putting some confidence back into the stock as well. So never a dull moment with this stock. It's you got to keep your eyes on it. Let me know your thoughts about the whole parting of ways with Lawrence Hardge in the comments below. Do you know much more about the new truck offering that Mullen Automotive wants to start offering people? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's not? Something that can basically portable charge it sounds like. Anyway, share your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, everyone. May the markets trade in your favor. Cheers.